Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. Today's session is on deactivating depression for a relative in a dementia unit. So it's very easy to get depressed in a dementia unit, and many people do, of course, for obvious reasons, especially when they first arrive, because they're just cut off from everything they know and that they're accustomed to. So, compassion, so much compassion and understanding has to be given to them for this, having to cope with this. But at the same time, one needs to move through it, otherwise there's no quality of life, is there, if we're constantly depressed. So if your mother, for example, is depressed and, saying a little bit, don't want to be here, I don't like it, why am I here, sort of thing, the usual refrain, talk it through with her, explain to her why she is at the unit, because of safety reasons, because she couldn't live alone, because, with cooking it wasn't safe, and she was getting lost and losing her way, etc., whatever the reasons. Explain that to her and work that through, and and say, that you were coming over however often, 2, 3 times a day, but to help her if you were next door, but you couldn't be there all the time. Nobody could, so she needs to be in a place where she has that safety and security, and just talk that through. And of course we know that we do have to repeat with dementia, of course we have to repeat these things, but it does resonate. She will on some level receive it. But then it reaches a point with depression, soon after you've explained this, say a couple of times, it reaches a point with depression that there needs to be movement, because if we get just stuck in depression and keep going over and over the same thing, it just becomes like a negative mantra. So movement, physical movement is a good idea. So one technique, for example, if you're in her bedroom, oh, come on mum, it's the snow's fallen on the Southern Alps. This is a common refrain in the South Island of New Zealand, a beautiful experience in winter. The first lot of snow on the Southern Alps is something to be seen. And many nursing homes and dementia facilities have the views of the Southern Alps. So we're lucky with that, especially second story. They get the full vista right down the South Island sometimes. So just get her to the window, look at the Southern Alps, and the snow's beautiful, and then go and, the children skiing. When we were younger, you used to take us skiing and up the mountain with the snowballs, and there'll be always some conversation around the snow if you're from the South Island in New Zealand, or in another country. If it's looking out on a beautiful garden and it's spring and the flowers have come out, you can have a similar discussion about that, and all the joys of spring. And if your mother's a gardener, or even if she's just had little flower pots on the veranda of an apartment, and the flowers coming out, it's always a beautiful thing to appreciate and enjoy that time of year. There's always something to talk about, something interesting and uplifting, because the thing is, when you're depressed, you need to be lifted out of it, not sometimes some people can snap you out of it if they've got a good sense of humour. Actually, I have found at the dementia unit, it was the sons that could have often snapped their mother out of dementia, often just with a phone call. So if the mother phoned, for example, and the son answered, typically sons can say something like, oh mum, it's not that bad, we're all there for you, we all love you. I mean, 2 lines, it's not that bad, we're there for you and we love you. Well, when a mother hears that from her son, it's amazing how just everything negative can vanish. It's amazing. All of a sudden the love comes in, and they're like, it's incredible. I've seen it so many times. It's like the light from the heavens shines down because her lovely, beautiful son has said that he's there for her and he loves her. So it doesn't work as well, that technique or that approach, from daughters somehow. You know, of course it helps when we say we love our mother, but when it comes from the sons, it seems to have an instant effect for whatever reason. So with the daughters, it's really better with the depression to be active. So if the mother's still, looking at the Southern Alps, but not really engaging that much, have a walk around the facility, maybe go out onto the veranda. Hopefully there is one, so she can look out at the hills, look at the sky, look at the birds, the planes, discuss all that. And then if that doesn't work, maybe a special treat of out in the wheelchair, outside. That's always a wonderful one. When you're in amidst nature, most facilities have a nice garden outside. So to be able to, it's hard to be depressed when you're outside on a beautiful sunny day, and if the person continues to be depressed, or your mother continues to be depressed after all that and isn't making any effort at all, then that's her choice. You have given her every opportunity to be able to uplift her spirits and engage. And the person with dementia has to make an effort as well. I mean, it's from both parties. It's not that it can't be that the family member's making all the effort and mother makes no effort. I mean, because otherwise what happens is the family member or the daughter gets exhausted, and then she won't be able to help anyone. So mother has to make an effort. And don't be concerned about having to say this to mother either. If you are making an effort, and it's obvious that you are, she will be aware that you are making that effort. Say, look, Mum, we're doing our very best. We're really trying hard to help you to get through this. We know it's difficult. It's very difficult, actually, for all of us, but we're doing what we can. And explaining in that way actually can be really reassuring for the mother. And she often will get the yes, I do, and yes, dear, I do understand that you are doing a lot, and yes, I do have to try. And it's good. It's good if they do try. Actually, it's really important that they do try, because willpower and discipline and effort all comes under the same umbrella as concentration, which we're trying to develop with these people. So it's good if they make an effort. And if you can't encourage them to make an effort, tell your brother and ask him to phone her up, or you'll come and see her and do the same thing and pick her spirits up. It's family effort here. It can't just be the daughter doing everything. So just explain to him to do his bit, and then you'll be amazed how this can all work. So these are just some practical techniques to help depression. You have to be creative with these techniques. I mean, they're time immemorial techniques, aren't they? But we just have to adjust them to a dementia setting, and to try and be as positive and enthusiastic as we can. I mean, it can be difficult because, if you've got a really busy life, but actually it's good. It's good for everyone because, no harm being positive. It helps the person, everyone's spirits, doesn't it, when we're positive and make an effort to be positive. So it's a really good approach to just sort of click into that positive, practical aspect and lift and help your mother's depression, and then it will make life a lot easier when she can settle with the depression. Life at a dementia facility becomes a lot easier for your mother, because then the residents are more likely to be pleasant to her if she's not so depressed. The staff will be good with her. She'll make more friends. She'll be able to chat at the table when she's having her meals. When she's buoyed up, even a little bit, even 25%, 30%, if she's buoyed up a bit, then others will have are more likely to be able to engage with her, and with that she can communicate and hopefully make friends. And when you've got a good friend, then you're less likely to be depressed in a dementia facility. So that's it on dementia and depression, and how to help, practical positive techniques to help your mother with dementia. So thank you for your views, thank you for your likes, all your support, and subscribing. Fantastic. I was so pleased about that. So please do view and pass on to others links, and subscribe if you can and you'd like to. That would be well appreciated. Thank you.